Pacific Ocean 15 million years ago. A whale surfaces to breathe, 60 feet long, weighing 50 tons. In 1 second, something strikes from below at 35 miles per hour. Jaws 10 feet wide clamp down with 40,000 pounds of force per square inch, 10 times stronger than a great white shark. The whale's spine shatters instantly. This was Megalodon, the largest predator that ever hunted Earth's oceans. But tooth marks on fossil whale bones from Peru reveal something paleontologists didn't expect. Megalodon didn't just kill whales, it ate them strategically, targeting specific organs first, leaving bite marks that prove it understood anatomy better than any shark alive today. CT scans from 2016 show bite force concentrated on flippers, ribs, and vertebrae, never random attacks, always calculated, always surgical. And that changed everything about how it dominated for 20 million years, because here's what makes this predator even more terrifying. Fossil evidence from 6 continents shows Megalodon didn't just hunt in one region, it controlled every ocean on Earth. Coastal waters off California, deep trenches near Japan, tropical reefs in the Mediterranean. Anywhere large prey existed, Megalodon followed. And the bite patterns prove it wasn't just feeding. It was systematically removing the largest animals from the ocean with 99% hunt success rates. That's not predation, that's extinction-level control. Megalodon reached 60 feet in length. That's longer than a semi-truck, heavier than 10 cars combined. Its mouth measured 10 feet wide, large enough to swallow 4 humans standing side by side without touching the sides. Each tooth measured 7 inches from root to tip, bigger than your hand. And here's what makes those teeth even more deadly. They were serrated on both edges like steak knives, designed to saw through whalebone and cartilage in seconds. Compare that to modern great whites. Their teeth max out at 3 inches. Their bite force peaks at 4,000 pounds per square inch. Megalodon delivered 40,000 pounds per square inch. That's 10 times stronger. One bite generated 20 tons of crushing force, enough to collapse a car roof like aluminum foil. Hiding was impossible at this size. Outswimming it, Megalodon cruised at 20 miles per hour and sprinted at 35. Diving deeper meant entering its preferred hunting zone. Fighting back meant getting within range of jaws that removed 40 pounds of flesh in a single motion. But size wasn't what made Megalodon unstoppable. It was precision hunting backed by perfect anatomy. Fossil evidence from North Carolina shows bite marks on whale ribs that follow specific patterns every single time. First, Megalodon targeted flippers, crippling forward motion. Whales that can't swim forward can't escape. Then it circled at distance, letting blood loss weaken the prey. No wasted energy, no unnecessary risk. Then it struck vital organs, heart, lungs, liver, in that exact order. Talk about calculated brutality that takes decades to perfect. Modern great whites use this identical strategy today on seals and sea lions, but they weigh 5,000 pounds maximum. Megalodon weighed 100,000 pounds, 20 times heavier, using the same surgical hunting method perfected over millions of years of evolution. And here's what that size difference meant. Great whites succeed on 50% of hunts. Megalodon succeeded on 80 to 90% based on prey population collapse rates in fossil records, and its prey had nowhere safe to hide anywhere on Earth. Baleen whales, the largest animals in prehistoric oceans, migrated thousands of miles annually trying to escape Megalodon hunting grounds. Fossil records from Japan analyzed by Catalina Pimiento show whale populations shifted their breeding areas every 2 to 3 million years, always moving away from coastlines where Megalodon teeth are most densely concentrated. You couldn't even breed your next generation without Megalodon reshaping your entire species' migration patterns across hemispheres. That's not just apex predation, that's ecosystem-wide behavioral control. But the fossil record reveals something even more disturbing. Juvenile whale skeletons from the Miocene epoch show bone deformities consistent with surviving Megalodon attacks, healed fractures, missing flippers, spinal damage that never properly fused. These whales lived through encounters but carried injuries that reduced swimming speed by 30 to 40%. slower whales became targets again on subsequent hunts. Megalodon didn't just hunt. It created permanent prey populations that were easier to catch every breeding season. Then there's the feeding evidence that changed everything paleontologists thought they knew about shark intelligence. A 2008 study by Stephen Rowe at the University of New South Wales used finite element analysis, the same computer modeling used to test bridge supports, to reconstruct Megalodon's bite mechanics in 3 dimensions. The findings revealed bite force so extreme it required special software to calculate. A single bite could remove 40 pounds of flesh and bone in one motion. That's enough to bleed out a 50-ton whale in under 10 minutes. Megalodon didn't need repeated attacks to kill. It bit once, then followed at distance while prey bled out, and it had all day to wait. But here's what makes it worse. Megalodon hunted in every ocean on Earth simultaneously. Teeth have been found on every continent except Antarctica, shallow coastal waters off Maryland, deep ocean trenches near the Mariana Trench, tropical coral reefs in Australia, temperate waters off South Africa. Everywhere whales existed, Megalodon fossils appear in the same geological layers. Seasonal migration offered no escape because it was already at every destination. Whale populations couldn't find safe breeding grounds because Megalodon controlled every viable habitat. Fossil sites in Maryland reveal something even more terrifying. Juvenile Megalodon teeth, sharks only 20 feet long, appear in dense concentrations near prehistoric river mouths. Even the nursery grounds held apex predators larger than modern great whites. Newborn megalodons entered the food chain at the top. Talk about generational dominance that spans millions of years without competition. And then there's the actual nightmare scenario that fossil evidence confirms. Megalodon possessed ampullae of Lorenzini, electrosensory organs that detect electrical fields generated by muscle contractions and heartbeats. These organs in Megalodon were 3 times larger than modern great white specimens. That translates to detection range of half a mile underwater. Playing dead in the water was useless because it sensed hearts still beating from 2,600 feet away. Hiding on the ocean floor failed because it detected muscle contractions from breathing. Staying completely motionless meant nothing because it tracked electrical signatures through complete darkness. Even stopping all movement didn't matter. It already knew exactly where prey was located. The reality is even more brutal than individual hunting capability. Fossil whale bones from South Carolina analyzed in 2012 show multiple Megalodon bite marks from different angles and different jaw sizes on the same skeleton. That's evidence of pack hunting behavior. Multiple sharks, each 50 to 60 feet long, coordinating attacks on whales that couldn't defend themselves against simultaneous strikes from multiple directions. Modern great whites occasionally hunt in loose groups of 2 to 3 individuals. But Megalodon made pack hunting a refined strategy with 4 to 6 individuals. And here's what's truly terrifying about the fossil evidence. The bite marks don't overlap. They show turn-taking behavior, like each shark waited for the previous one to strike before attacking. They understood cooperation increased success rates above 90%. That's not instinct, that's learned tactical hunting. Then, a 2019 study proved something paleontologists had suspected for decades, but couldn't verify until new technology existed. Researchers at the University of Zurich, led by Kenshu Shimada, analyzed growth rings in Megalodon vertebrae using high-resolution CT scanning, the same technique used to age trees by counting rings. The vertebrae came from specimens found in Belgium, Peru, and North Carolina, representing 3 different ocean basins. The findings revealed Megalodon lived 80 to 100 years in the wild. That's 4 times longer than modern great whites, which average 20 to 25 years maximum. A century of hunting experience accumulated over a single lifetime, learning prey behavior patterns, memorizing migration routes, refining attack strategies based on success and failure rates. Individual megalodons didn't die young or make fatal mistakes. They had 100 years to perfect killing techniques and pass that knowledge to offspring through behavioral observation. But the study revealed something even more significant. Growth ring spacing showed Megalodon reached sexual maturity at 30 to 35 years old. far later than any modern shark species. That meant 30 years of learning how to hunt before reproducing, 30 years of accumulated knowledge before teaching the next generation. And here's why that matters. Animals that mature slowly invest heavily in offspring survival. Megalodon didn't produce hundreds of pups hoping some survived. It produced 2 to 4 highly developed juveniles that inherited proven hunting territories. The study also revealed growth rates that explain the 60-foot adult size. Juvenile megalodons added 15 to 20 feet of length in their first 10 years, faster than any shark alive today. That rapid growth meant reaching apex predator size before competition could threaten them. By age 15, they were 35 feet long and already larger than adult great whites. By 30, they hit 50 to 55 feet and became untouchable by anything else in the ocean. And then there's what the vertebrae revealed about metabolism. Growth ring density analysis showed Megalodon maintained a partially warm-blooded system, regional endothermy, similar to great whites today, but far more efficient. That allowed sustained high-speed swimming in deeper, colder water where prey tried to hide. Escaping to depth was impossible because Megalodon's metabolism didn't fail in cold water like most sharks. But the dominance period tells you everything about why nothing could compete with this predator. Megalodon ruled Earth's oceans for 20 million years. 20 million years of uncontested apex predator status from the early Miocene through the end of the Pliocene epoch. For comparison, Tyrannosaurus rex existed for 2 million years. Megalodon's reign lasted 10 times longer. Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat, dominated for 2.5 million years. Megalodon outlasted it 8 times over. No predator before or since has maintained that level of dominance across that time span, and the fossil record shows exactly why. Nothing could compete with it in the same ecological niche. Predatory whales like Leviathan existed during the same period. 60-foot sperm whale relatives with teeth 14 inches long and bite force comparable to Megalodon. These were legitimate competitors. But tooth fossil distributions analyzed by Alberto Coloreta show clear geographic separation. Leviathan dominated South American coastal waters. Megalodon controlled the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. Even apex predators of equal size avoided direct competition with Megalodon. Talk about respect enforced through intimidation and superior hunting grounds. And then there's what happened to everything else in the ocean ecosystem. A 2016 study by Catalina Pimiento at the University of Florida analyzed whale fossil distributions before and after Megalodon's extinction 3.6 million years ago. The results showed whale populations exploded in diversity and average body size within 500,000 years of Megalodon disappearing. Species that had been limited to 30 to 40 feet suddenly evolved to 60 to 70 feet. Entirely new body plans emerged, feeding strategies diversified. Modern blue whales, the largest animals ever to exist at 100 feet and 200 tons, only evolved after Megalodon went extinct. Nothing could grow that large while Megalodon hunted because one predator controlled maximum prey size through selective hunting. The ocean ecosystem couldn't support mega whales above 60 feet because Megalodon killed anything that size before it could reproduce. That's not just occupying the top of the food chain, that's suppressing evolution itself for 20 million years. But here's the real question that reveals everything about specialization limits. Why did something this perfectly adapted go extinct? The answer shows exactly why being the ultimate apex predator became a fatal weakness. Climate change 3.6 million years ago cooled Earth's oceans by 5 degrees Fahrenheit. That doesn't sound like much, but it triggered cascading ecosystem collapse for large warm water predators. Whale populations migrated to colder polar waters where krill was more abundant. But Megalodon couldn't follow them there. Its massive size required enormous energy, 2,500 pounds of meat daily, which meant it needed warm water to maintain metabolism. Adapting to cold oceans was biologically impossible when your body demanded that much fuel just to survive. Megalodon, 60 feet of muscle and cartilage designed specifically to hunt whales. Jaws that could swallow a car, bite force 20 times stronger than a lion, teeth replaced every 2 weeks for a century, electrical sensors that detected heartbeats from half a mile away. For 20 million years, nothing in Earth's oceans was safe. That's the reality of prehistoric seas. The largest predator ever didn't just hunt. It controlled evolution itself.